Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my fellow friends and lecturer, today our group is actually presenting the topic Basic of Financial and Business in Islam. Our group, me, myself, Fatima Anim, and my group mates Izzatul Mardia, Nikputra Atira, and Nur Elena Izzati. The table of content consists with definition of earning and halal versus haram ways of earning and spending, benefit and the importance of halal versus haram in earning and spending, business ethic in Islam, and the last one is Islamic in business conventional with basic principle. Before we start, we want to clarify that we are not econ student, but we will try our best to deliver this topic. Its definition of earning. According to Merriam-Webster, earning is something such as wages that we earn or the balance of revenue after deduction of costs and expenses. Meanwhile, according to Cambridge Dictionary, the amount of money that someone is paid for working is earning. And then according to Islamic perspective, halal in Arabic is halal mean permissible, refer to what is permissible or lawful in Islamic law. Halal earning means legal or permissible earning, and the income that earned according to the instruction and the ways of approval by Allah and His Prophet ﷺ is called halal earning. And halal earning is been mentioned in Al-Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 170. Allah said, "O you who believe, eat the good things we have provided for you and be grateful to Allah if it is Him whom you worship." Okay, and then we move to the halal versus haram ways of earning, and the way of ethics of seeking wealth in Islam. The first one is work sincerely for the sake of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, and this is the most important foundation for a working person. And then diligent and earnest work, and trust and be honest, because the work we do is trust from the boss, and we will also be held accountable from God for the work he has done. And then does not violate Sharia laws, where we must not violate Sharia in the work we do, such as appraising illicit goods, spending malicious rumors or usury, not covering the chance, equated between men and men, and then the last one is avoid vision in works or something that is less clear about the law of halal and haram, such as element from the outside party. Meanwhile, for the haram ways of earning and the source of income provided Islam are very obviously riba, which is a usury, means literally denotes interest, increase, addition, or excess in Surah Al-Baqarah. Bribery, giving money to someone through whom a person takes something that has no right. Literary uncertainty, ambiguity, danger and risk that might lead to destruction or loss. Gambling, we say the practice of risking money or other stakes in a game of it. Has been mentioned in Surah Al-Maidah in 70. Basically, it's an illegal earning is of course strictly prohibited and condemned in Islam, because Allah said in God's Quran, "All who does believe do not eat up the property by false means unless it's said with your mutual consent," in Surah Al-Nisa 29. And then next slide is halal versus haram ways of spending. So we go for the halal first. Spending in the ways of Allah is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah 274. Those who spend their wealth in Allah ways by night and by day, secretly and publicly, they will have their reward with the Lord, and no fear will thereby concerning them, and nor will they grieve. So, spending, the first one is fulfilling obligatory right to property, such as paying zakah and money for parents and family and so on, and then use property for the benefits of others, such as build public facilities or on, and then perform social responsibility that can foster an unity among human beings, such as give the donation, infaq, and wakaf. Then compare with the haram ways of spending. Haram spending of money as follows: spending in disobedience of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, spending in maksiat, in subordinates of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, spending in evil and immorality, spending in fasad, corruption, spending on material first. And this all is, as we know, earning from a legal source will result the following to mankind. In the day of judgment, everyone will be asked how he won, how he earned, and how he spent money or what by Prophet Muhammad SAW said. So we as Islam need to follow the commands of Allah, which is earn and spending our money to the true righteousness. And thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Sister Fatima Hanin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. I'm Atul, and I will continue the presentation with the second subtopic, which is the benefit and importance of halal and haram in earning and spending. So basically, we are knowing what is halal and what is haram, which is halal is permissible while haram is prohibited. So move on to the next slide to see what is the benefit of halal and evils of haram in earning and spending aspect. Okay, the benefit of halal is the first one. Halal work and earnings are a kind of ibadah, which a Muslim will be rewarded on the day of judgment. So, if we have a good and lawful earning in spending, it will be considered as ibadah also, that Allah will give reward for Muslim on the day of judgment. And then the second one is halal earnings that came from a good source is considered as a sadaqah, which is charity. So there is advantage if we find earning and spend in halal way. It also considered as sadaqah, which we always be rewarded as long as we do that in the halal earning and spending. Okay, the last one is halal earning will be blessed by Allah and bring peace of mind and help to have a clear concise. So if we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing halal income, Allah will ease our mind, ease our daily life, will give a peaceful mind and soul, and will make us think right, like we know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so but what if we earning and spending in haram way? Okay, the first one is haram earning and spending will reward with a punishment on the day of judgment. And then the second one is sadaqah will not be accepted by Allah. So if we have haram income, even we sadaqah the houses or the building and the mosque, or sadaqah will not accepted by Allah. Can you imagine it? Like this will be a waste of time. This will be a waste everything. Okay, if we have a haram income. Okay, the next one is a person who is indulged in haram earning will live in an anxious and stressful life. Okay, so actually, they know what is happiness, but they can't find it or taste it because they accumulate lots of wealth from the haram incomes. So that is the barakah that Allah give has been taken away from it. So this means no matter how much they accumulate, they will not get satisfaction or experience happiness. Okay. Okay, the last one is haram earning will bring negative impact with their families. Okay, if a person earning and spending in haram way, they will anxious or stressful person all the time, and they will react unpredictably because he can't think straight. So since haram income drive it earners anxious, this type of anxiety extend to affect their families in the form of like argument, constant argument, quarrel, or domestic violence. So when haram income is the source of funding for a family, they can expect to lose peace in the home. Okay. So what is the importance of halal in earning and spending? The first one is earning halal income is a part of worship. Allah has promised to reward for earning halal income. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept the call, dua, of a person who eats haram income. It is vital to earning and spending in halal way to have a good health in worship Allah by doing religious activities. Earning halal income will create a healthy family, descendant, and healthy mind. Okay, these are some of the verse Quran related to halal and haram, which means He commands them what is good and forbids them what is evil. He allows them as lawful and what is good and prohibits them from what is bad. He releases them from the heavy burden. So these are the ayah from the Quran. Allah has already mentioned what is halal and what is haram, what is good, what is bad. So it's up to the humankind, the Muslim, to choose their way, which is they want to in a halal way or in haram way. Okay, so I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
To Islamic business ethic. Firstly, Islam prohibited of trading unlawful item. One basic rule in Islamic law is that if an item is lawful, then buying or selling the item is also unlawful, meaning that it is legal to trade item. For example, the item that had been stolen. You stole the item from anywhere and then you sell back. So it is haram. Not just that, it also can be immoral activity, such as by giving a service product to a prostitute in order to support the living. Like you promote the service here and then the people pay to you even though you are not involved in zina, so it's still unlawful trading. And second, Islam teach to refrain from hiding any known defect in an item offered for sale. meaning that the buyer should be informed about such defect on the things or stuff that the buyer will buy, and it is up to him or her to accept to buy it or not. So I give an example to make this clear. There was a sale, a clearance for handbag, a rejected handbag, such as may have a defect like a dirty or problem zipping or false claim. So the buyer and the seller have the option to cancel or to confirm the bargain. The seller need to tell the truth in selling item in order to get the blessing from Allah. The third one is prohibition of the sale of an item which is not available and whose delivery is doubtful, called bay'ul ghara. For example, we can see that nowadays it is said to know that most people love to buy random item from Shopee, random item that we don't know what are the content, and the item not have been taken by the owner for a long time. So it is haram because it consists of ghara. There is no akad happen between the seller and the buyer. Restriction of unfair monopoly which are designed to create an artificially higher price or to create artificial shortage are forbidden and sinful. This means that the product quality is suffer and the cost will be higher if there were a competition. So the Prophet Muhammad also said that whoever withhold food in order to raise its price has certainly erred, and also whoever strive to increase the best of product for Muslim, to increase the cost of product for Muslim, Allah will sit him the center of the fire on the day of resurrection. Last one is permissibility and lawful trade. The Quran explicitly states that the trade in itself is permissible, but Allah has permitted a trade and forbidden the interest. So the main reason riba is prohibited is why it prohibited because it makes the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. I'm Elena Sofian, and now I will continue the presentation regarding the basic principles of the conventional banking versus Islamic banking. So, next slide. Okay, so this is the differences of the conventional finance system and also the Islamic finance system, which is the first one is the wealth ownership, whereby all wealth belongs to the human or property of owner himself for the conventional finance system. Meaning to say that religion should not be referenced for the conventional banking. Meanwhile, for the Islamic, all wealth is belong to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Islamic banking is based on the Aqidah Islamiyah, which we recognize that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala is our creator and God who must be worshipped, and must be obeyed. These are the policies and rules that have been outlined by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. It's mandatory for us to follow. For the ultimate goal, for the conventional finance, the only aims to maximize profit or to gain profitable transaction, where halal is not a major consideration. For example, they can invest in any company, for example, alcohol company, as long as it can bring them profit. So this is haram for the Muslims. For the Islamic, it is to seek pleasure from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala so that we can do any transactional in halal way. They also does aim to maximize profit, but it is all subject to the Sharia and the legislative restriction. For the origin of the system, for conventional, it is purely man-made system. It has no connection to any religious belief and only comes from human. When it comes from human, we as human, we know that we have limits. For the Islamic, it is based on the revelation through Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and the two major sources are Al-Quran and As-Sunnah. For the governing authorities, for conventional, it was governed and supervised by the Bank Negara Malaysia. Meanwhile, for the Islamic, the regulatory and supervisory of Islamic banking institution in Malaysia are governed by the Islamic Finance Act 2013, or known as IFSA, and this act falls under the purview of Bank Negara Malaysia, and everything will be supervised by the Sharia Committee. And the next is the basic prohibitions. For conventional, there is no prohibitions. All economic activities are permissible as long as it follow the guidelines from Bank Negara Malaysia. Meanwhile, for the Islamic, it prohibits the involvement of haram activities such as riba. Riba known as any excess compensation without due consideration, and then maisir, which is known as gambling, and gharar, the sale that is not yet present, to be present. So the last one is the source of profit. For conventional, the profit is based on the interest. For example, if they lend us 10,000, we need to pay them 15,000. So the 5,000 is their profit. So it involves
riba, right? And for the Islamic, the profit and loss will be sharing together between the bank and also the depositor. So this is the examples of the conventional bank and also the Islamic bank, as you can see. And I guess that's it from us. Thank you. Thank you so much.